Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I'm Nicodemus Kane. Today is May the 4th of 2023. Because it sounds so much like May the Force that we have to arbitrarily make this Star Wars Day. I don't know. I never fell for it. Personally, I never fell for it. But that's what people want to do. So, hey, that's what people want to do. That's fine. We're going to read Ezekiel 19. It is kind of short. I think I might just go ahead and jump into it. Before I do, though, here's what's happening this weekend. No, I don't. I told myself I wasn't going to do it, but I was just thinking about. I was just thinking about how some people don't like it whenever I go over the things that are happening in my life. You know, oh, I would have loved to have listened to what you said, but instead I had to listen to what you were doing this weekend. Yeah, that's alright, man, whatever. It is what it is. But no, I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing this weekend. It's going to be a weekend. I know that much. We might do some gardening. How about that? Alright? Because we gotta plant our, what's left? We have cucumbers and peas and what else? Some green beans, I think. Is that what we're doing? I don't know if we got the carrots in or not. We're doing a lot more than we did last year. I can tell you that much. But no potatoes. We cannot get those stupid potatoes to grow to save our lives. So no potatoes. But everything else we're doing. So that is what it is. Anyways, let's get into this. Ezekiel 19. Now remember, Ezekiel 18, the biggest takeaway, I still have it underlined here. Repent and turn yourselves from all your transgressions, so iniquity shall not be your ruin. That's the biggest takeaway from Ezekiel 18. So now let's go into Ezekiel 19. Moreover, take thou up a lamentation for the princes of Israel, and say, What is thy mother? A lioness. She lay down among lions. She nourished her whelps among young lions. And she brought up one of her whelps. It became a young lion, and it learned to catch the prey. It devoured men. The nations also heard of him. He was taken in their pit, and they brought him with chains unto the land of Egypt. Now when she saw that she had waited, and her hope was lost, then she took another of her whelps, and made him a young lion, and he went up and down among the lions. He became a young lion, and learned to catch the prey, and devoured men. And he knew their desolate places, and he laid waste to their cities, and the land was desolate, and the fullness thereof, by the noise of his roaring. Then the nations set against him on every side from the provinces, and spread their net over him. He was taken in their pit, and they put him in ward in chains, and brought him to the king of Babylon. They brought him into holds, that his voice should no more be heard upon the mountains of Israel. Alright, so we're doing another analogy of a lioness and her cubs. This calls them whelps, but they became lions. Then one was taken away. Then another one came out, but he laid waste to the cities, and the land was desolate in the fullness. Well, let's read it again. And if I can't pull out what they're talking about, then I will leave it up to you guys. So, yeah, back to the top. Moreover, take thou up a lamentation for the princes of Israel, and say, What is thy mother? A lioness. She lay down among lions. She nourished her whelps among young lions. Okay. Your mother is a lioness. She lay down among lions. She nourished her whelps among young lions. And she brought up one of her whelps. It became a young lion, and it learned to catch the prey. It devoured men. The nations also heard of him. He was taken in their pit, and they brought him with chains unto the land of Egypt. So verse 5, now when she saw that she had waited, and her hope was lost, then she took another of her whelps, and made him a young lion. And he went up and down among the lions. He became a young lion, and learned to catch the prey, and devoured men. And he knew their desolate places, and he laid waste their cities, and the land was desolate, and the fullness thereof, by the noise of his roaring. Getting a clearer picture. I'm still not going to say what it is, because I know that if I say what it is, what I think it is, it's probably going to be wrong anyways. So verse 8, then the nations set against him on every side from the provinces, and spread their net over him. He was taken in their pit, and they put him in ward in chains, and brought him to the king of Babylon. They brought him into holds, that his voice should no more be heard upon the mountains of Israel. Now, what has usually happened here is, if I can't figure it out, if I just keep reading, it will probably tell me what the rest, what the actual analogy is, or symbolism, or metaphor, or whatever the word is that I can't think of right now. So let's go ahead and keep reading and see if the Bible tells it to us, because 9 times out of 10 the Bible tells it to us. I have an idea, like I said, but I'm not gonna throw it out there, because right now I don't. It's not that I don't want to be wrong. Right now I just don't want to. I don't need the loss right now. How's that sound for you? Verse 10. Thy mother is like a vine in thy blood, planted by the waters. She was fruitful and full of branches by reason of many waters. And she had strong rods for the scepters of them that bear rule. And her stature was exalted among the thick branches. And she appeared in her height with the multitude of her branches. But she was plucked up in fury, and she was cast down to the ground. And the east wind dried up her fruit. Her strong rods were broken and withered. The fire consumed them. And now she is planted in the wilderness, in a dry and thirsty ground. And fire is gone out of a rod of her branches, which hath devoured her fruit, so that she hath no strong rod to be a scepter to rule. This is a lamentation, and shall be for a lamentation. And it's nice and small. I mean, it's 14 verses that ended before we even begun. So let's go back to verse 10. Thy mother is like a vine in thy blood, planted by the waters. She was fruitful and full of branches by reason of many waters. So we get this again with the vine being fruitful, being in a good place and being fruitful. And she had strong rods for the scepters of them that bear rule. Excuse me. And this is actually talking about pulling sticks off of the trees for rods, for the scepters of those that rule, for the sticks of those that rule, the nice, ornate sticks that kings used to carry around with them. And she had strong rods for the scepters of them that bear rule, and her stature was exalted among the thick branches. And she appeared in her height with the multitude of her branches. This is a good tree. But she was plucked up in fury. She was cast down to the ground, and the east wind dried up her fruit. Her strong rods were broken and withered. The fire consumed them. Well, this sounds like Jerusalem, of course. And now she is planted in the wilderness, in a dry and thirsty ground. And fire is gone out of a rod of her branches, which hath devoured her fruit, so that she hath no strong rod to be a scepter to rule. We saw that something similar to that a couple chapters ago, where it said that what use is the wood of this vine tree? Spindly, little rods. It's just good for burning at this point. There's nothing good to it. If it's not producing fruit, you dig it up out of the ground, you throw it away. This is a lamentation. It should be for a lamentation. So, of course, you've got the city of Jerusalem here as the vine tree. Now, as far as the lioness, I don't know about the first son. The nations also heard of him. He was taken in their pit, and they brought him with chains into the land of Egypt. Trying to figure that one out. But then there was a second one. The second one went up, and the second one grew to be big. Grew to be a lion within himself. And he laid waste to their cities, and the land was desolate in the fullness thereof by the noise of his roaring. But then all the nations set back against him, spread their net over him, and was taken in a pit. Then they brought it to the king of Babylon. So I'm guessing that is Israel after they, conquered all the nations that God told them to conquer. I'm going to guess that. I don't know what the first one is. I mean, is the first lion? Is that Israel before they were taken in captive of Egypt? But it says nothing about that the lion was released. It's something I'm missing. I'm sure there's something I'm missing somewhere. I'm sure it's something that I forgot, which is entirely possible. There's a lot in this book. A lot of people are able to, really memorize the heck out of the Bible. Me, I'm not like that. I haven't put that much of my life into it. Remember, I've only been doing this for 6 years. So, and even then, it has not been the ultimate goal of trying to figure everything out. I've only really been led to this for the past 3 years, 3 of the 6 years, 4 of the 6 years. It's only been 3 years. Yeah. Still, though, it's a learning experience. We're all trying to learn. We're all trying to figure it out. Tell me I didn't get done in 12 minutes. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. That's absolute crazy. That went by fast. But sometimes they do that. I don't want to just leave it at 12 minutes. Jeez. I really don't. It's a lot of stuff picking up. I got on Twitter this morning, and it seems like a lot of things are being moved around right now. A lot of things are happening, if you will, that a lot of top politicians are being moved around. A lot of places are being shut down. What was it? Walt Disney World completely shut down. How did that work? Let me see. Disney. I'm doing it with one hand because why not? Walt Disney World news. No, it says nothing about they closures are happening. Refurbishments and closures are happening in May, but I don't see anything about it was completely shut down. See, this is why you look this stuff up. Walt Disney World is falling apart. Oh, I'd believe that. I'd absolutely believe that. because everything around Disney World in Florida is being built up. And Disney World is not the kind of place to, it's not the kind of place that just absolutely shuts down in order to rebuild itself. It's not open 24/7, 365, but it's open enough that, they don't really get the chance to fix it as much as possible. Here we go. What is this? The entire Disney World area has closed unexpectedly. All guest access denied. Epcot got shut down. Well, that's happened before. That's nothing new. They've had to shut down Epcot before because they found out something structurally with the big Epcot globe. It was something like, there was a problem with it, and they said that if they didn't shut it down immediately and take care of it, that, there was something that could fall apart. I don't know what it was. It was back in the 90s. Ballooning prices and confusing system like the virtual queue. Okay. I don't know, the last time I went to Disney, it was a joke. It was an absolute joke. They had the Fast Pass deal, which, you paid an extra, I don't know how much on top of, at the time it was like one-use passes, and it was like pay $30 extra to get on the ride quicker. And we did it for, I don't remember what we did it for, and we wound up waiting for an hour anyways. It was a joke. It was an absolute joke. That was a bad trip. I mean, I've been to Disney World more times than I can count. Because when you live in Florida, it's what you do. Every year you go to Disney World. You go for like band trips and school trips. So I've been there for, I don't know how many times. But the last time we went was when it was me and my ex-girlfriend and her kids. And it just sucked. It was not a good trip at all. Yeah, they're just saying Epcot is shut down. I don't know. I never really went to Epcot anyway, so it's whatever. I mean, really, it's just whatever. Oh, that's nice. They got a picture of a Ratatouille ride, and it's the entire family are in masks. God, jeez. That's a way to promote your brand. Give me a break. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Stuff is happening. We know this. We know that the world is getting crazy and out of control. And we have to, first of all, know the season that we're in. Know the times that we're in. I said this, I've been saying this for the past couple of days. We are in the season of Beltane. They are ramping up all of their fun stuff. This is their last big push of evil before the sun starts going away. Of course, when the sun starts going away, then they start doing all of their, true sacrifices because they want the sun to come back. And that doesn't mean that you will see, ritualistic, crazy nonsense out on the surface. A lot of the stuff that they will do will be behind closed doors where you can't see it. If you haven't been paying attention to both Ezekiel and Jeremiah, whenever it says, no matter how bad it is on the surface, it's 5 times worse behind the closed doors. If you haven't been paying attention, then you have no idea what I'm talking about there. But something's going on. You can feel it in the air. You can feel behind closed doors those men in power, those princes and principalities of the world are planning their next snare and trap for the righteous people of this world. Whatever it is. All I have to say is don't fall for it. Use discernment in all things. Be wary. Tell the truth of everything. If you hear something that goes contrary to what you're being told, speak out. Tell the truth. Watch out. Whatever comes, whatever happens. But that's all I got. I don't have much else. It's like I said, I've been on a social media kind of blackout. I've been listening to a lot of flat earth stuff. Yeah, a lot of the old Rob Skiba stuff. It's been coming back around. So I've been listening to that. I've been doing a lot of craptastic jobs at work, so I haven't been, it's been one of those head down, get to work kind of things. It's the kind of stuff that I hate. But when you get into that kind of mode, you don't really think of, hey, let's go look at current events. Let's go find out what's going on in the world. It's more of a just get through the day. Just get through the day. Which is how they want it. They want you to just get through the day. They don't want you to look too far into anything, and they don't want you to pay attention to what's going on. They want you as distracted as possible. Well, you win this one, Satan. you win this one. But next time, nah. All right, I'm going to stop. I shall talk to you all later. God bless everyone. You take care of yourselves. Be wary of all things. Just because they tell you that you should watch Star Wars today, don't watch Star Wars. Be against this system. Don't do anything Star Wars related. Just, go against everything they tell you. Do that anyways. I mean, it is what it is. All right. I shall talk to you later. Bye.